I gotta wait. How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
Welcome to the share, where Miss Dreme always has a story.
I'm Dreme, a black woman with many beautiful interconnecting identities. A few I will name at this moment as we get started on this podcast journey together. A Bostonian, born and raised in the inner city, Dorchester and Roxbury neighborhoods, to a teenage single mother who has my whole heart. An educator, I've been working with youth and children since my teenage years, and formally, I have been teaching almost a decade now. That's wild to think about. An entrepreneur, I am the founder of The Chair, a black and brown centered tech platform dedicated to supporting people on their hair journey, where you can design hairboards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a more joyous experience. I have a workable site, my prototype. It took me 2 years to build, and now I'm on this adventure that you're currently on with me. My goal for this podcast is to share stories, black stories, educator stories, entrepreneurship stories, and hair stories. I want you to leave each episode with the opportunity to gain new insight, just a glimpse into my world or the worlds that are featured on my podcasts, a little chuckle during your day or night, possibly a little anger to encourage you to advocate for justice, and hope to continue learning and dreaming. So come in and listen to the beautiful voices in the chair as they share their stories, starting with me.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexis. Alexis, can you please introduce yourself?
Wow. Hey, everybody. My name is Alexis. I'm 30 years old from Jersey City. I'm a mom of two, and Dreme and I met at summer camp my first year.
I think about a lot of my first times. The first time we went to Silver Lake. I think about the first time I taught kids how to swim or canoe or learning.
That was my first time in a canoe.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was it was my first time sleeping over at a lake.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my family, we camp and stuff, but our tents were never on a pallet like that. Remember, the tents had no zippers.
Mm-hmm.
At Silver Lake. So that whole type of cowboy cookout experience was different for me. But I do remember in the middle of the night waking up and just looking out in the water, and I probably never felt that peaceful again.
Yeah, the purple sand and all the stars.
And then the ropes course. Both of my nieces have been going the past maybe 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
My mom kept up the tradition.
Yeah, I think about my experience as a black woman today. We did camp. At the beginning, you were just forced to go as a requirement in middle school, but then I was purposely going. So then I'm learning how to be a ropes course facilitator. I'm learning how to kayak. I'm learning how to do all these things. And then as an adult, I travel. So everywhere I go, I'm trying to find a zip line, and it all started with
at that ropes course.
a little ropes course in New Hampshire where it was a 2-second
behind
zip
some
line.
cabins.
Right behind some cabins. It's a 2-second thing. Or being like, I love kayaking and being able to kayak on the Atlantic in South Africa and being like, well, I remember kayaking on Silver Lake.
It's crazy for me because I take the littlest things. Anytime somebody has a knot, and I'm like, I can get that out. I can get that out. Seeing a certain plant, I'm like, you shouldn't touch that. They're like, how do you know this? I passed my challenges. Don't touch that. I don't think people, even food-wise, they kept you healthy with what they fed you.
Mm-hmm.
Even that was different. Being in the urban area, going to summer camps around there, the food is trash at home. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go there. It was just a whole different experience.
Yeah.
But it was also eye-opening, especially being a little black girl from Jersey City. I see other people, but to actually sit down and technically be locked in a cabin with them for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. I don't regret it though.
No, right. I think
I don't regret it at all.
there's so much learning there. In college, we had to take for our sociology, anthropology major, we had to take this quantitative methods class. And that year, my professor, shout out to Professor Beer, he wanted us to look at race through all these quantifiable, basically number leading lenses. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is cool, you know? But we had to learn about some theory before we got into the numbers. And there was this one theory called intercontact theory. And the whole point of this theory is that it would argue that when you're in spaces with people who are different, that you eventually start to just acknowledge their existence and you start to learn about them. So I was like, well, Brentwood Camp is the absolute theory. It is the real life example of intercontact theory. The first time you're in a cabin with a
I
kid.
think we forgot to mention that they took our phones and any electronics, and this
Yeah.
was the time where we had disposable cameras.
Valid. Yep. And you had to really get to know the people. So you're writing letters. You are talking to each other. You may be with a kid who's never hiked before and you have to help them through it. You've never been with a kid who hasn't tried softball or doesn't know how to swim.
Or lacrosse, because like even the activities were very different. Like we did like lacrosse, we did tetherball. The LIT training was probably something that no kid would ever get.
Right,
in,
yeah.
Especially in urban areas.
Yeah, the
like
exposure.
For them to teach you stuff so complex as making a floating device out of a pair of jeans.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'll never forget it.
The exposure and the fact that now you add in differences of race. So you got little white kids from Keene, New Hampshire becoming best friends with little black kids from Newark, New Jersey. You have Hispanic kids from the Bronx being super tight with Boston kids. Like, you had all of these intersection, and the commonality was we all went to Brentwood Camp.
That's it. That's all.
we all went to camp. I think about that a lot in terms of really learning what it meant to really be a team, what it meant to really rely on the person who you were sleeping next to, and you had to get to
And
know.
the counselors made that very easy, though. They made it very, like, we were supervised, but not to the point where we couldn't be ourselves and learn our lessons and make our mistakes. Which is always very good and helped us grow. I feel like I'm still friends. I feel like I can remember every girl's first and last name.
Wow. Because it meant something.
Like I actually, Colleen, shout out to Colleen. She does weightlifting and stuff. I still talk to her almost every day. I literally just went through my phone and I found a picture that we took one day before movie night, and we were getting our snacks together. We were sitting in the hall, wrapped in a sleeping bag. And the movie, I swear to God, I remember the movie. It was Now and Then.
Now and Then.
And I still watch that. I still watch that movie when I need some sense of hugging. That is definitely a comfort movie for me now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's probably, and that's all about the experience, because honestly, if it wasn't for Brentwood, it probably would have never been a movie I would have never watched. I wouldn't have been interested in it. Just like lacrosse. I love lacrosse now. I mean, I still suck, but if you ask me to play, I'm going to do it. Tetherball. That was my first time playing tetherball. And that was an experience for me because I watched Recess a lot as a kid. And I'm like, this is a real life, tether. That was my first time hiking for more than an hour.
There's so many firsts that happened at camp. Like so many relationships for me was such a safe space. Brentwood has changed a lot since then, of course. There's still, as an adult, you learn about a place. So there are things that Brentwood needs to work on. They are a part of performative activism. They need to do better by diversifying their trustee board, not only racially, but in terms of gender. Brentwood Camp definitely needs to work on being more supportive of their camp counselors and paying them better. They need to be more vigilant in how they focus on their diversity of staff from the states and internationally. And again, paying them better and being able to be open to have these conversations instead of just calling it tradition. And there's a difference between, hey, traditions can be modified and traditions can be expanded. instead of
If the
just,
meaning of the tradition is still the same,
yep.
I don't think it matters if you change a few technicalities. Like your purpose, your core is still the same,
Mm-hmm.
but things change, things grow, things evolve, and you have to change your quote unquote traditions to fix that. But I think a lot of companies or places use the word tradition to protect a lot of things that they just, hey, this is how I feel and I don't want to change it.
Yes, and it ends up becoming this wall of just hard-headedness instead of them wanting to grow and be better people. The values of camp are the beginnings of the type of person, the type of leader I became. It's pretty sad that a lot of the leaders at Brentwood Camp don't want to improve.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Look, it's my commercial. We will be right back.
It's more than just a bad hair day. It's a journey. Finding the right hairstyle isn't easy, nor is finding the right stylist or the right products. Looking in every corner of the web gets messy, overwhelming, and exhausting. All the ads, the articles, the products, the videos, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And now, it isn't. The Chair. A black and brown centered platform where you can design hairboards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a new joyful path on your hair journey. Avoid the clutter, save yourself hours, months, and even years of research and poor trial and error. Everything you need and only what you need is in one place. Hairboards made by people like you, for you. Find the right products, the right people, the right answers for you, stress-free. Join the Chair community and make every day a great hair day. When you share your pain, you allow others to help you. And when you share your success, you help others get theirs. Lean on the Chair. We got you. No stress, no strife. In the chair, the chair, the chair. All right.
Alexis, you mentioned that you are a beautiful mom of two. Do you see yourself as an educator to your little ones?
See, I've always been an educator to everybody. Like, I'm the type, you know me. I'll sit there, we'll be quiet. I'm like, do you know a cow has 5 stomachs? I feel like education is in everything, even if you're just sitting down chatting. So, yeah, with my kids, I definitely feel like I'm an educator. My son just turned 8, and he fully understands what's going on in Gaza. He fully understands the Ukraine war. He can identify at least 60 flags from different countries. So, I put my foot on my kids' necks because I have to tell them, and they have to realize at the end of the day, I know race isn't everything, but to this world it is. To this world it is. And you're 2 little black kids from Jersey City. You always got to be 2 times better. So when it comes to teaching them things, I try to teach them the reality, but I also try to teach them, especially with history, the point of view of the oppressed, because it's very important. I feel like I do teach them a lot, but history. But she is so independent, so smart. She's so full of life. She reminds me of me in every which way. And then you have my son, who reminds me of my more timid side. He's more say to himself, and he likes parallel play a lot. And I'm like that now.
You have special kids, and they should see that specialness within them.
Special in many ways, in many ways, in so many ways.
That's
And even with them, especially with them being on the spectrum too. I don't see autism as a bad thing. Can it be an obstacle sometimes? Yes. But so is driving sometimes. You would never, you still drive, right? You just find ways to cope with it and make yourself more comfortable. And that's what I do. But for my kids, I know that their autism is their superpower. That autism grabbed a hold of my kids and said, I'm not letting go. You can put, my daughter speaks a little bit of Korean, and she watched the video for about 5 minutes. Now, I'm not sure if she understands what she was saying, but I know she can say it. I didn't want kids growing up.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I have nine siblings, nine brothers and sisters. Some of them had kids when I was younger. I saw what they went through. Being a parent, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I am so good. But I think that was also a part of me and my trauma with me being adopted. I felt like I would never want kids because I felt like I would screw them up. And then I got pregnant with my son. And at first I'm like, yeah, no, he is the fetus. I'm not about to bring him into this world and screw him up. But then I sat down and thought, I'm not screwed it up, so hey, it would be fine. I just put it in God's hands and I was like, well, I guess I'm having a baby. And then he came out and everything changed. Everything changed. I felt like you would have thought I wanted to have a kid my whole life. You would have thought I loved kids. I do not.
So what was the change? What was the sparkle?
When I held him, the first time I actually held him and I looked in his eyes, I knew my decision was right. He didn't even cry when he came out. He just stared and smiled a little. He didn't cry. He didn't make a fuss. He's like, I'm here. And I held him and I did. And then on top of that, he was born on the 4th of July. So it was all a magical thing. Ended it off with some fireworks.
That's beautiful.
And then with my daughter, when I gave birth with her, it was a Harry Potter marathon. All 3 days I was in the hospital, and she was born on 420. My two favorite things is 420 and Harry Potter. I know she was made for me. she was she was made to be here definitely, and ever since she's gotten a voice and her personality, she's like, I'm here. You're gonna know I'm here. You're gonna hear me, and she's not nice, which I love. She's cute, yes, but not nice.
And what advice would you give to a potential new parent?
Love your kid unconditionally.
And what does that
That's it, that's all.
look like?
No matter who they decide to love, what career they decide to take, what God they decide to worship, that's still your child. Unless they're like out there like murdering people, and even in that, you should still love your child, get them help. Notice the signs. If your child tells you they're depressed, they're probably depressed. Don't say, don't go depress those dishes. I also feel like as parents, we have to realize we are also human, but we also can be mean, and us being bigger doesn't mean we can be mean. They're still little humans, and you have to look at it. They're like, my daughter is 5. The way I look at it, she literally has 5 experience years of life. What could she possibly know? When people have sat in school for more than 5 years and y'all can barely add. Have to be patient. I know it's hard. That's probably my hardest thing. But you have to be patient and love your kids. It's way too many kids taking their own lives. It's way too many kids out here without parents and anything like that. Just love is enough for your kids. It's not about the money. It's not about all the extra stuff. It's time and love. Now, obviously, financially, money and stuff is important, but that's an adult situation, and that's for the adults to worry about, not your kids.
The chair.
Oh, and if you're interested to learn more about my experiences as a Black woman and educator in Guangzhou, China, I wrote my first ebook titled Nowhere and Everywhere, Captured Emotions of a Beautifully Broken Love Story. It is on lulu.com. Take a read and see some beautiful photography of mine. Enjoy the rest of the show.
The chair.
We've been following each other on Facebook for years now, and I started building my platform called The Chair, dedicated to supporting Black and brown people on their hair journey, really thinking about ways to support hair. How can we design it? What does it look like? Being able to build hairboards and then being able to connect to the right people that you need, and then at the same time being able to share those hair care tips, things we do casually, but we need a platform so all of our stuff can be organized and set. And so I was curious to know, do you have a memory of the first time you fell in love with your hair?
See, like I told you before, I'm starting to love my hair a little more, but I've always loved my hair in a sense. How can I put this? I've always had big, long hair. So a lot of things that came with hair, a lot of the negative parts that people with shorter hair in the black community, you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Have to deal with, I didn't have to deal with. But at the same time, as I got older and my hair pattern started to change, I had to fall in love with my hair again.
Mm.
And literally, last year, I forgot what I was doing. I was going somewhere and I was supposed to put a wig on, but instead, I just washed my hair, I got in the shower, and I looked in the mirror and I looked at my curls and I literally just cried. And it was at that moment I realized that black hair is good hair. What is nothing you cannot do with black hair. But I'm trying to think of a specific moment. I think that was the moment. I think that was the moment.
And
Definitely.
when you think about your hair, do you have memories of favorite hairstyle or other favorite moments when it comes to?
Man, Easter Sunday as a little black girl will forever be top tier memory.
Yeah.
Top tier memory. Because as a little girl, when you look up at your moms and your aunts and they're in the nail salons and the hair salons, as a little girl, we were only in there, every so often
Mm.
when the adults was like, okay, when my mom felt like she didn't want to do my hair, then I went to the salon. But other than that, like my mama did it at home. But Easter, okay, Easter, I was in there feeling like every auntie. They don't wash hair anymore, which I hate. Getting my hair washed, blow dry, and I remember just sitting down and soaking up the blackness. That's what
Mm.
it was for me. The blackness in the sisterhood. Seeing women in a space being completely vulnerable, hair a mess, looking a mess, but it's still nothing but laughs, smiles, love, and compassion. And I miss that so much. The hair salon was more than a hair salon to black women.
Mm.
And it is a place where you would go to love your hair. Some people come in there looking like Don King, you leave out looking like Regina King, and you're like, hey, whole new person.
What?
So Easter,
Yeah.
getting my hair done is definitely my favorite memory. My favorite hairstyle was probably had to be the first time my mother actually let me straighten my real hair and she didn't bump the ends.
Hmm.
It lasted about 2 hours because I sweated. Decided to sweat. And I remember she was like, see, this is why I keep it in braids. So the next day I went and I got it braided. But I have my 2 seconds of Becky with the good hair moment. When I was younger, it was a weird obsession, not only with me, but with a lot of black girls to keep our hair bone straight,
Mm.
especially in Jersey City. It was a thing. We were frying our hair.
Mm.
Frying it. And don't even get me started on the product buildup with the slick backs. I have to layer mine. I have to layer mine so it can lay down flat.
When thinking about the hair salon culture, what piece of advice did you get in the hair salon that rings true in your mind that you think about often?
I remember one time I went to a hair salon and I looked like I didn't belong there. I don't know if I was in a mood or something, but I literally just sat in the corner and sat there. And I remember this old black lady came up to me and she said, remember, you walk in, every room you walk in, you belong in. And
Mm.
that stuck with me for the rest of my life. The
Mm.
rest of my life. I'm now never scared to walk in a room. You can't tell me, hey, you don't belong. Why don't I?
Mm.
That stuck to me. And I also remember another lady. This one is kind of a funny one, but she this wasn't a hair salon moment, but this was the first time I actually cut my hair. And I
Okay.
cut it and I dyed it blonde. I pulled the M&M. And I remember an older black lady came up to me. She said, baby, if you can pull it off bald, you can do it all. And ever since she told me that, I'll cut my hair in 2 seconds. Don't let me get too hot because it's coming on. But that moment also, it also kind of lit like a spark in my head that hair is important, but it don't make you. And a song that I love is I Am Not My Hair by India.Arie.
Mm-hmm.
That is my jam. I think the first time I heard it was it was one Christmas. I was maybe like 9 or 10, and one of my brother's wives played it for me, and she's like, "You really should listen to this song." And I was like, "Wow, yeah, that makes sense." While I always loved or had a love for my hair, it wasn't like that from the outside point of view. My hair, I don't know if you remember, but in the summer when my hair gets wet, it gets really curly.
Mm-hmm.
And you got people saying, oh, you think you Spanish? No, I know I'm black.
Mm.
Or when it'll dry and they be like, oh, did you comb your hair today? It's 4C when it's dry. It's combed and moisturized. It's going to stay in that one direction. It's not going to. I also had to realize that my hair in its natural state is done.
Mm.
It's done. You don't have to do all the extra stuff to say that your hair is done. It's done. Right now, I'm in the process of trying to grow it out more. I've been using rosemary, aloe, and like olive oil to moisturize it, and on it has been growing and it's getting thicker. My goal is health and width. I'm length is cool, but I'm a big hair person.
Mm.
As long as it's big.
And when did you feel like you started having conversations about this natural love instead of aiming for the bone straight or the slick back?
When I had my daughter. Like when I had my daughter, that solidified it for me because I looked at her in my hands with her beautiful head of hair and I'm like, I have to really sit down and love my hair because I now have to teach another little black girl how to love hers.
Mm.
And my daughter has tight curls. Her shrinkage is so bad, but right now she got a little cut. She got a little mohawk. I let her. She has complete hair freedom,
Mm.
and she cuts it whenever she feels like it. She's like, "Mommy, I want a haircut."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh,
It's time.
let's go." I learned how to cut hair simply from my son and my daughter.
Mm.
I went to high school. When in high school, I did cosmetology, but after that, I did what I had to do, and I never touched a comb, a clipper again. And then I had my son, and he's on the spectrum, and going to the barbershop for him was a very bad experience.
Mm.
And obviously, that broke my heart because the barbershop is still a safe space for the men, But he's like, I can't do that, mommy. It was too much. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, I guess I have to do it. And I would cut his hair. And then the first time I actually cut his hair in front of her, she's like, yeah, I'm next.
Mm.
And I'm like, you want it all off? And she's like, all of it. So I started in the back and I just cut a little piece and I put the hand in my hand and I showed her and she's like, yeah, take it off. And that was her first haircut. And my daughter has yet to stop and grow her hair out. She's like, nope, cut it.
There's no fear.
Oh, her eyebrows too.
Yeah, there's no fear when it comes to the scissors or the clippers.
None. And if she wants hair, she'll wear a wig. I give my kids freedom to express themselves as much as they can. My daughter goes outside in Easter dresses and Afro wigs, but she feels like it because this world it's declining, and these kids aren't allowed to be kids anymore. Everybody is treating them like adults or like they're supposed to know it. So for me, I want my kids to keep their innocence. And if they want to walk outside in a Power Ranger outfit with an anime wig, then they're going to.
Well, Alexis, thank you so much for sharing your stories in the chair. I truly, truly appreciate it.
No, thank you. I don't think you realize, even though we were all so young, after Brentwood, your voice was always in my head.
Really?
Always in my head. I'll never forget you. I went home and I was like, Ma, I met another black girl. Her name is Dreme. I was like, she looks like me. She has hair like me. She had braids like me. She wore glasses like me. I was like, Mom, I wasn't alone. I'll never forget that moment, bro. I will cry right now. I would never forget that moment. And you were like the only one who actually accepted me. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people was like, is she crazy? I am, but hey, you didn't mind. You knew my heart was in a good place. And that right there, the grace you've always extended me is something I held on to 15 years later.
Well, that means so much. It really does.
I'll never forget you, girl. I'll never forget you. You're my girl for life.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dreme always has a story.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Chair. I, of course, would love your continued support. Let me know what you think of this episode by doing all the things. Subscribe, comment, and come back next week, every week. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. Or if you are like me, enjoy that moonlight and that one star under all your city lights. Love you. Talk to you later.
The chair.
All I gotta wait? How long I gotta wait for it press record?
Go.
We support her. Shit.
Do your.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dreme always has a story. Where we share